Hey, it's Cassandra coming back with another video. Today I just wanted to come back and talk a little bit more about the cult. In some of the comments, whenever I talked about the boy, the young man who was 17 years old, almost 18, who molested my two daughters when we were in Japan, she was saying that anybody should have had common sense not to let anybody keep their children and everything, any boys, because boys shouldn't, or men shouldn't be keeping little children. And, some people will agree with that and some people won't agree with that. But I never did let any boys keep my children. I was even at home. I was there with the mother, his mother, chatting as sisters do. And my little girls, 2 and 4, went upstairs to be with his 15-year-old sister. And so, therefore, that's who I thought they were in her company. And when they came down, that's when they told me that he had, told them to come into the room or whatever, and showed them himself. And so the thing was about that is that I had already been teaching my children, 2 and 4, not to let anybody touch them. I was telling them the proper usage of the name of their own body parts. So that's how I knew for a fact that he had shown them his part, because they called his part a vagina. So the thing is that people have to be careful whether it's a male or a female. And that's the thing about going inside of cults and everything. And going inside of anything that tells you that you are a sheep. Any little children, when they were growing up, and any time they would be asked about what kind of animal they were going to be, what kind of animal would you be when you grow up, or what are you going to be, what animal you are. Nobody never said they were going to be a sheep. They would pick animals that had more power and more protective skills, because a sheep is not something that would ever protect themselves. As a matter of fact, sheep and goats are domesticated by humans, and they were the first ones to be domesticated by humans. So to be called a sheep, to be trained to be a sheep as a child, the way I was, and many others, to take your abilities away to even defend yourself or think for yourself. This is what we were taught to do, and this is what we were trained to do. So even with me not being all the way initiated inside the Jehovah's Witnesses, because I never really fully believed it in my heart, I still taught my children about that. And that's how come they could tell me that very quickly, what had happened. Whereas other people's children didn't ever report the boy. But the young man was supposed to be an upstanding person inside of the Kingdom Hall. He was carrying the microphones, commenting, helping out, and assisting the elder and the ministerial servant that was in that congregation, the small congregation. So, and he was one of the ones that was supposed to be very looked up to and everything. And this is why I'm coming back and I'm openly sharing that the sheep mentality will allow you to let somebody hurt you. The sheep mentality will allow people to hurt your children. And this is the mentality that the Kingdom Hall, the Jehovah's Witnesses, and other cults encourage people to have, sheep mentalities, because they don't want them to think for themselves and defend themselves. But the thing is, with the Kingdom Hall, because child molestation goes on all around the world, in every way, because you got perverts all over the place. And that's just normal, and everybody knows that. But once you let your guards down inside of a sheep-like organization that's supposed to be sheep-like organization, people let their guards down, and they're not watching out for predators like they should be. And this is why I come back and encourage people to beware of that sheep-like mentality, even when you get out of that cult, because you'll still have a something on that you're wearing on your head that kick me, use me, that people can read. You can get out of the organization, and people can still spot you. And out of all the people that people come up and ask for money, They'll be asking you for the money. You'll be in a neighborhood and people will be coming asking you for rides and things like that because they know by your personality being trained, even though you are no longer inside of the congregation, you still have a certain mentality that you have to work on. And you have to create boundaries because before you were only a sheep. And so that's how so many inside the congregation allow their children to get molested and become preyed upon because they are sheep. And they let their guards down and they expect for the some kind of shepherd to shepherd the flock and everything. And to come to find out that those same shepherds are allowing wolves to come in and and have all the sheep they want because they are themselves in fact wolves. So they all got together and just came together and they doing a number on the sheep like people. And so that's why I'm saying that people need to ship up and get themselves together and get their power, snatch their powers back. Because yes, women will sit there and let people prey on their children, being like a sheep, looking like they don't know what's going on. When a human woman, would never allow anybody to come up and hurt their children when they're in their right minds. So if you are a person who are allowing somebody to hurt you or your children, then something is wrong and you do need to get yourself together. Many people are still having that sheep-like attitude, and they get out of the Kingdom Hall and they letting people shun them, and they really looking pitiful and sad when the people are shunning them. When no, you're supposed to have your head up. You know good and well that you are out of that organization. That was like being in a burning house, and you ran out and you survived it, and now you got to hold your head down in shame and be embarrassed because you are saved from something that is very detrimental and very abusive. No, it's time to walk with our heads up. And if you a person, I don't know, I'm just a person that just say hi to everybody because I'm from the South. But if you don't want to speak to me, that's fine. You don't have any kind of some burning inside my heart, like my feelings are hurt, because that's fine with me now. But it wasn't like that before. I would really be devastated before when my sisters and mother and all these people wouldn't speak to me or whatever. But now, that sounds like a blessing to me. Somebody who don't like me, they need to get away from me. That's what I love in my life now. If you're not for me, get away from me and stay away from me. That's my philosophy now. But yes, no, you have to learn how to protect yourself and your children and your grandchildren. This is what the lady was saying in the comments, that there should have been common sense not to let boys watch your children or whatever. But it wasn't no boys watching my children, and I still did have a small amount of sense to even educate my little girls on what to look for in a person. And I was just doing it just out of a natural thing, but I had no idea that he was going to be doing all that stuff, that he would call them to the room and everything. I had no idea, but for some reason I was it was put in my heart to teach them about not letting people touch them and showing themselves and everything. And so that's how come I was able to catch it really fast, and it didn't go farther than what it could have gone, like he did with some of the children. But the thing I come back and talk about more than anything, because like I said before, I know children get molested and children get abused all around the world. But when you are inside an organization that claim to be God's only true organization, then people would expect more from that person and from those people and from that group. But that's why I'm coming back to say is that no, they're not God's organization, true and only organization. No. And no matter where you are, what organization, what family, what school, always beware of predators around your children. Don't never take for granted that somebody's going to love and take care of your children. That is your responsibility. You are the one that had those children, and it's your responsibility to protect those children. And even as you get older, as a grandmother, as a grandfather, you still have every right to stand up for yourself and protect the people that love you and you love them. You have a right to protect yourself. You're not a sheep. You are a human. So anyway, I just wanted to come back and talk a little bit about that. I talk a lot about child molestation because this is the thing I'm talking about when it comes to XJWs, because that's a real thing with the child molestations and everything being swept up under the rug. And I come back to talk about how they degrade women, encouraging them to be inside of an abusive relationship, even when men beat them and men overly use them sexually. And they still encouraged to be inside of all these kind of bad relationships. And so this is why I'm talking. This is why I'm speaking. And I appreciate my voice. And I appreciate the voice of all of you guys. Anyway, I hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for watching.